We focus on the unfolding crisis within the All Progressive Congress, one of Nigeria's most influential political parties, as it grapples with growing tensions ahead of the 2027 elections. Now, at the center of the storm is the so-called Wike phenomenon. Governor Nyesom Wike's rising political influence and the ripple effect it is having on party unity, decision-making and grassroots supports. For millions of Nigerians, the outcome of these internal battles is more than just politics. It could shape leadership, policy direction, and the pace of a national development over the next few years. Now, party members are divided, alliances are shifting, and questions over leadership and strategy are increasingly dominating the headlines. Now, observers warn that if these divisions are not managed carefully, the party risks losing credibility and cohesion at a critical time. And here to help us navigate this complex landscape is Chief Okoi Obono-Obla, a former presidential aide, lawyer, APC chieftain, chairman of the non-defunct Special Presidential Investigation Panel for Recovery of Public Property and respected public analyst. Chief Obla is joining us from Calabar and will bring deep insight into party politics, governance, and the human dynamics behind these high-stakes power plays. And in this segment, we'll explore what the Wike phenomenon really means for the APC, the electorate, and Nigerians' political future, while assessing how the party might resolve or, expand its internal crisis as we approach the 2027 elections. Good morning, Chief. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hello, good morning, Chief. Can you hear me? And I think our guest is having a bit of difficulties. Okay, good morning, Chief. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, and Trust Television's network.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And now let's dive right in. When we are talking about the 2027 elections and also the political parties on the line, APC and PDP, there is no way we can, shut our eyes as to the issues that are happening. Defections, lots of crises, dramas, struggle for leadership power, and a whole lot. And I want us to start with the Wike dual allegiance, because as it is now, it is dual, and we still don't understand where Wike stands at this point. And we know that he's still in the PDP, but he sits in an APC-led cabinet, and he's also influencing the APC politics in Rivers State. At what point does accommodation becomes, political blackmail? Because what we're seeing now is a whole lot, and we still cannot peg a title to the drama that is unfolding from Wike and the Rivers politics.
Well, let me make it very clearly that Wike is not part of APC. He's not a member of APC. And if we should go back into the historical antecedents of APC, APC was a party that came about through the amalgamation of various interests across about 3 political parties and 2 factions of ABGA and DPP. And it was principally a merger between ACN, AMPP, and CPC. So Wike was not part of this arrangement. So it will be a misnomer to begin to suggest that Wike is going to precipitate a crisis in APC. There is no crisis in APC whatsoever. And the fact that Wike is in this government does not mean that it's part of APC. And it's not the first time we are seeing this kind of development. Let's go back to 1979. President Aliyu Usman Shehu Shagari was elected president. under the defunct National Party of Nigeria. And there was this apprehension that he was not going to have it easy with the National Assembly, because even though MPN emerged as the leading party in the National Assembly, they didn't have a two-thirds majority in the House of Representatives and the Senate. So President Shagari, in order to have it smoothly in passage of bills and laws and confirmation hearings, his party, MPN, entered into a coalition with MPP. MPP was a party of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. So after the general elections, they entered into a coalition. And as a result, a lot of members of the MPP were brought in into government. Professor Ishaya Audu, who was foreign minister from the whole Kaduna State, a renowned medical academic, I think from Ahmadu Bello University, but he was an MPP. He was a running mate of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe in the 1979 presidential election. He was appointed foreign minister. My uncle's chieftain Okoi Obono-Obla from the whole crossover state. He was an MPP, and he was appointed minister for communications and a host of others. So it is not the first time we are seeing somebody in an supposedly opposition party being drafted into government. We also, during the time of President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, there was a government of national unity was formed, and we had a couple of people from AMPP and other opposition political parties being drafted into government. Even under Obasanjo, President Obasanjo, when he won in 1999, we had a prominent figure like Chief Bola Ige, SAN. He was appointed into that government, even though he was a member of the defunct Alliance for Democracy. So this Wike appointment is raising so much dust. I think it's nothing to write home about. Nothing to write home about. It is not the first time we are seeing opposition figures being appointed into government, and we cannot equate Rivers State with the entire 36 states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. So if there's a crisis in Rivers State, I don't see how that will impact on other 35 states and Abuja. So okay. I will slightly disagree with you that there's crisis in APC and that Wike is like a problem, it's becoming a problem. I don't think it's becoming a problem, even though it's from Rivers State. There was no alliance between APC and PDP in Rivers State in 2023, but he decided to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was the presidential candidate of APC in that election. And APC won Rivers State. But I don't think the dynamics of 2023, the dynamics that shape and influence the electorate in 2023 will be the same dynamics that will shape and influence the electorate in 2027, when we are going to have elections in this country. A lot of water has passed through the bridge. I know politics is dynamic. Politics is not static, and politics is a typical, human behavior. Human beings change every minute, every second. So I don't think what will influence, people in Rivers State to vote for APC or PDP or Labour Party will be the factors that will influence the next coming election.
Okay, Chief, you have, stated that there's no crisis in the APC, and then you have been able to, go back to history and, give us a better understanding as to why we're seeing what is happening today, Wike, APC, and also the rivers of politics. But then when you say that, you don't see Wike as a problem in the APC and the river state, recently, Wike, publicly called out the APC leadership in River State during his, thank you tour that he has been going up and down to do and what have you. And he called on, the National Secretary, which is Ajibola Bashiru, and he said that he should not intervene in Rivers politics. And if someone that is not in a ruling party at this time, and he's still in his party, and he's still calling out the National Secretary of that state not to intervene in the politics of that state, don't you think that Wike is a problem to the APC and to River State politics?
No, I don't think so. Wike is very, I would say, loquacious. He's somebody who likes to express himself. When he was calling out the APC membership, leadership in River State, that doesn't tantamount to him interfering into APC. As I have made it clearly, he's not a member of APC. He's not a member of any organ of the APC at the national, state, or local government level. If you are saying that there will be crisis in APC, or he has precipitated a crisis in APC, if it involves him, okay, maybe engaging with some of the blocks that emerged in 2013 to form APC, like, okay, for instance, the CPC block, or the ACM block, or the AMPP block, or the ABGA block, or the DPP block. He hasn't done that, and he will not even have the opportunity of doing that because he's not a national leader of APC. Look, let me tell you, APC is principally the idea of late President Muhammadu Buhari and the current President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when they agreed, two of them, firstly, they agreed that they should come together, form a broad-based national political party to wrestle power from PDP. So those are principally the people who came together, agreed. Because I was part of the negotiation. I was the co-secretary of the Joint Inter-Party Measure Committee. And the Joint Inter-Party Measure Committee was the measure committee of ACN, AMPP, CPC, ABGA, and DPP. And I came in from the CPC block. So APC is principally the idea of President Muhammadu Buhari and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, two of them. And you saw that even when there was an attempt by people like Abubakar Malami, SAN, when they attempted to pull out of put CPC block out of APC, they didn't succeed. So I talk less of Tinubu, Wike, who is not a member of the party. He was not there in 2013 when we were negotiating to form this political party. He knows next to nothing about APC. But he has the right to express his opinion. He has the right to call out, to assess himself, being a very pugnacious character. So, but that doesn't affect APC in any way, and it's not going to affect APC River State, APC in the South, in the Northwest, in North Central, in the Northeast, even the South, even the Southeast.
But then, Chief, if you say Wike is an expressional person, he was just trying to express himself, we still haven't had any condemnation from the APC, top political leaders, not necessarily from River States, at top national level, to call him to order as to that particular statement he made. Because if the tables turn, do you think that the National Secretary, of River State can publicly, call out the PDP National Secretary to, dish out same warning that Wike gave to the APC? Don't you think that the APC is giving some, some leniency to Wike and, making him feel like he has so much power, so much grip, and so much hold in River State's politics and the leadership? Because he has also, come out to say it fully that Fubara will not win the election come second term.
Well, I don't agree with you that APC has not come out smoking. I read what Senator Ajibola Bashiru, who is the National Secretary of APC, what he said. He said, look, he told him, don't be wicked, don't be a meddlesome interloper. I will put it another way. Don't be a busybody. You are not a member of APC, so you cannot dabble into the affairs of APC in Rivers State or elsewhere. I read it clearly. It was reported in a couple of newspapers. I read it in Nation newspaper. I read it in Punch newspaper. I read it in Vanguard. Also, the national vice chairman of APC South South, Victor Agadon, he also, told Wike off that you cannot interfere in Rivers State APC because you're not a member of APC. But that doesn't stop Wike from exercising his right to freedom of opinion, freedom of expression. So I take it that what he's saying about APC in Rivers State he just exercising that right to freedom of opinion, freedom of expression. I don't think it has in any way disrupted or is going to disrupt Rivers State APC. And he has no right to tell us who is going to be our governorship candidate. I also heard the national chairman of APC saying that, look, everybody who is going to be a candidate to fly the flag of APC in the 2027 election will have to emerge through primaries election. So nobody has stopped Fubara from contesting to have a ticket under APC. And I don't see Wike, stopping him. Wike, for goodness sake, is a member of APC, PDP, and he has said a number of times that he remains a member of APC, though he supports President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. There's something wrong with that. You even saw in the United States of America, when Trump became president, he appointed people from the Democratic Party who were against him. One of them is Kennedy, the Secretary for Health, who is from the Kennedy's dynasty of the Kennedy political family. They are Democrats, from by heritage. For the past 100 years, 200 years, they have been Democrats. And he appointed him Secretary for Health. And I heard that some people from the Kennedy family were very upset that he accepted the appointment. So being a member of the Federal Executive Council that is headed by an APC president, Bola Tinubu, I don't think that should worry anybody. When we get to the bridge, we will cross it. When we get to 2027, we will cross it. We will know who is going to be the the governorship candidate of APC in Rivers State. If it is the will of the members of APC in Rivers State that Fubara should be the governorship candidate of APC, I don't think anybody can stop him. Nobody can stop him. We cannot stop him either. Even the party cannot stop if it is a wish or the will of members of the party in Rivers State that Fubara should be the governorship candidate of the party for the 2027 election.
All right, Chief, when we get to that bridge, we'll all cross the bridge safely and we'll see how everything
Yes.
gets to unfold. Now, let's talk about your warning to the APC as to, the huge number of defections into the party. I mean, it is very interesting to know that the APC ship is very huge and large to accommodate everybody in it. But then you warned the APC against welcoming all kinds of defectors. Is Wike not the clearest example of that risk? Though we know that, he's yet to declare that he would want to join the APC. And even in all of this chaos, it really shows that he really loves the APC with all his heart. So don't you think that the party should call him, or rather give him an invitation to join the party?
Well, scriptural, if you want to be religious, we always say that a political party is like a mosque or like a church. You cannot stop anybody from going there to worship God. Even though the person is a no sinner, because God has told us that we shouldn't be judgmental. It is only God who can judge whether or not we are a sinner. So APC cannot stop Wike. If he wants to be a member of APC, he has the right to freedom of association. That is very, very important. Everybody has the right to freedom of association. And I don't see any reason why some people feel that people should not join APC. I used to hold the opinion that people shouldn't APC should not open its door to everybody, but I have seen that position is unrealistic, because human beings behave like osmosis. I don't know if you are familiar with biology. There's this molecules that move around the body. They always move from one part of the body to the other. They go to the part of the body that they feel very safe, that will stabilize them. So now all other political parties are divided. ADC is in crisis, is in factions. The faction of the VMAC and the faction of Nafiu Bala Gombe. Labour Party is in crisis. NDP is in crisis. PDP is in crisis. So the only stable party is APC. And naturally, people want to migrate into APC, because there is no point remaining in a political party that you cannot guarantee getting the tickets. Because when you are in crisis, you have two national chairmen like ADC. You have the remark, they have Gombe, who is going to sign, upload their forms when INEC is getting the nominations of candidates that will represent political parties in the next election. So Labour Party is also in crisis. Different chairmen, different national secretaries. PDP was, NDPP, the same thing. So APC is the only party that is stable. And naturally, human beings want to migrate into APC. So if Wike wants to join APC, he's welcome. But he cannot remain outside and try to dictate what is going to happen in APC. It's not acceptable. That is very, very unacceptable. But if he wants to come in, he's welcome. We will not say because Wike is this, is loquacious, or that, we are not going to accept him. We are going to accept him. Maybe when he comes into APC, he will be a better politician.
So, Chief, you're saying that the attraction as to why state governors and other people are defecting from their political party to the ruling party is because the APC is the only stable and peaceful party that is, exists, that is, on ground at the moment. So there's nothing fishy, there's nothing attractive apart from the fact that the APC is peaceful at this point.
Yeah, that is the attraction.
Are you sure there's nothing attractive?
Peace and stability. And a woman.
Hello, Chief, are you there? So I think our guest is having a bit of a network issue. I really hope that he would be able to. Okay.
Move to Enugu or move to Ogun. In history, we have it. We have West Africa. Like me, as I'm talking to you, my group in Cross River State, they left Cameroon, the present Cameroon, about the 16th century. They left to our present location. And we have people who are from Gabon, Congo, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, who are from the same ethnic nationality like my own. So people will always move from one place to the other, even in politics. They want a place where they can play politics, a place that will guarantee those of them want to go for second term can give. So if the boat wants to submerge into water, you have to jump out of the boat to save your life. There's something wrong with that.
All right, Chief, it is interesting to know that, for governors that belong to, let's say the PDP, for example, and are doing exceedingly well as governors in their state, they don't, mind the platform, but they feel that joining the ruling party would, give them that huge ground to come into office the second time, not looking at, the good works that they have done for their people and having that hope and belief that their people would vote them in regardless of the political party that they belong to. But then let's still go back to Rivers State. I mean, let's look at the factional crisis between Wike and Fubara. Now we have seen it, and every day we see the new things that are coming out from the both of them, and it seems now that there's a faction between Wike and Fubara within the Rivers APC. So at what point did the party lose internal cohesion, and who bears the responsibility for that fracture?
Well, I don't think there has been any fractional infighting in the APC between Fubara and others. What we had was a fractional crisis in PDP. And that fractional crisis ended when Fubara decided to defect into APC, saying that I cannot be in a boat like PDP that is about to disintegrate. But for anybody to say that there's fractional infighting in APC in Rivers State, I would not agree with that.
Okay, quickly before we go, do you think Wike can deliver Rivers State
those who were fighting in Rivers State, they have since left the party. I know Rutman Mechi was involved in factional fighting between Mark Dusabe, and he has left APC Rivers State. He has joined ADC. So for presently, I don't think that there's any factional fighting in APC in Rivers State of Nigeria. Quickly, I don't think so.
Okay,
the party
Chief,
APC is intact in Rivers State.
Quickly, I just want to hear from you this morning. Do you think Wike would deliver Rivers State to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Between the two factions, who do you think would do the job diligently without creating any chaos and issues at the end of the day?
Well, with due respect, I've told you there is no faction or factional infighting in Rivers State APC. There is APC Rivers State, DP, another political party. If at the end of the day, Wike decides to work for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, so be it. He has already said it, that he's going to vote for President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and there is nothing wrong with what we call bipartisan support. If we saw it in America, we saw that a lot of people who didn't want to be the president of the United States of America, even though they are in our political party, the Democratic Party, they voted for a Republican candidate, President Trump. And in Nigeria too.
Thank you so much.
In Nigeria too, Chief. I know that a lot of people like Rutman Mechi didn't.
All right, thank you, Chief Okoi Obono-Obla, former presidential aide, lawyer, APC chieftain. Thank you for speaking with us this morning.